G'day viewers, congratulations to you! You've made it to the end of another week. Time for a weekend edition of TFU.
Totally fucked up!
Yes, time to revisit a few things that were totally fucked up this week. I delayed this video a bit in the hope that AZ would be well enough to come over on the weekend as he wasn't on Friday. Turns out not so much. He's not doing so great. He will soldier on and I'm sure he'd be happy to get all positive wishes from you and we will hopefully see him again soon. So, aside from AZ's fucked up health issues, the world, and my goodness, wasn't it a bit of a fucked up week for alt-right troll Milo Yiannopoulos? It all came crashing down for him. He'd spent years being lauded by conservatives just because he pissed off people who weren't conservative. They were saying, this is all about free speech. It's like, oh yeah, he can say racist things and sexist things, do trans hate, inspire hate mobs to go after innocent people. That's all just free speech. But apparently, advocating for adults fucking 13-year-olds, that's a bit too far. And when it surfaced that last year Yiannopoulos had done just this, it all fell apart. He got disinvited from the CPAC conference, he lost his book deal, and he had to leave the Breitbart site. Just one after the other. And everything about this was fantastic to me. It's like, first, the conservative voices who suddenly dropped him. Fuck you, you fucking hypocrites. All along when he was spouting his hate, you said free speech. Free speech trumps everything. He might be a worthless, hateful piece of shit with nothing to offer. He might be actively trying to destroy people's lives. But free speech, free speech. Yeah, well, apparently, him advocating child fucking, that's too much free speech for you. Fuck you, you fucking hypocrites. It was never about free speech. It was about that you fucking agreed with that hateful shit he was doing. But the whole child fucking thing, that's too far even for you. And you've dropped him like a hot potato. Well, you fucking hypocrites. Oh, and the people who were sticking by him and defending him, that's great too. Because it's like, really? Child fucking, that's the hill you're going to die on. You're going to stake it on. No, he was taken out of context. Apart from the fact he clearly and unambiguously talked about the positive aspects of adults fucking 13-year-olds. That's absolutely unambiguous, and anyone who pulls the context line is a lying sack of shit. I know some people are trying to... Now, Milo's the victim. He said, oh, because he was a victim of abuse as a 13-year-old. This is kind of his coping mechanism. Really? You're playing the victim card? After all the criticism about saying, oh, you just want a safe space. Oh, you're a delicate snowflake. Really? When your money goes out the window, suddenly it's the victim card for you. Fuck, you're a piece of shit, Milo. And anyone who ever supported you is a piece of shit. Oh, and just as by the way, Bill Maher, who I've said several times I can't fucking stand, people think I must like him because he's left-wing. No, Bill Maher is a bigoted, fucking obnoxious prick who adheres to some political views that I also do. Doesn't mean he's not a prick. He is. He always has been. And he's done this bizarre thing where after booking Yiannopoulos and giving him a fucking platform like the big fucking schmuck he is, he's trying to claim credit. It's like, oh, I brought him out and look, it's all fall apart from him. I think I did this. I just want to point out that Maher is also on record for advocating that there's nothing wrong with a 35-year-old woman fucking a 12-year-old boy. He's on video saying, oh, you can't rape men. And even at the time, on his panel where he expected everyone to be matey with him, you had Henry Rollins calling him to task, this is fucked. That abuse of power of the female teacher on the young boy, that boy is going to be damaged by this. He's going to be fucked up. Kids being born to a father who's only 12, 13 years older than him, those kids are going to be damaged. It's fucked. It's an abuse of power. Bill Maher's a piece of shit. Every bit as bad as Milo Yiannopoulos in my book. Anyway. Oh, and the other thing, talking about CPAC, I want to throw in, it was really funny when Nazi boy, self-proclaimed leader of the alt-right got kicked out. Them and their free speech, but they've decided he's persona non grata. I think that's going to really hurt him. And his other hurt for the week, but no one's managed to punch him for a while, which is a bit sad. But he said something weird about Depeche Mode being the band of the alt-right, how much he loved Depeche Mode and blah, blah, blah. I think there's fascist symbolism. And Depeche Mode just came out and told him to get fucked. They reject everything about him. I mean, this is actually a band that one of their biggest hits was called People Are People. It's a plea for tolerance and understanding, despite different creeds, different skin colours, different lives. Like, you know, the opposite of the neo-Nazis that call themselves the alt-right. That is really fucking weird. Oh, and of course, I can't let Trump go by. I can't let a week go by without talking about Trump. My biggest thing for him this week is he knows he's losing the battle. He's losing people from his cabinet. He's losing people he wants to appoint. It's all coming off. And he's blaming the media who dare to repeat the truth. And he started to try and cut the actual responsible media out of press dues, which, you know, is the basic totalitarian move, but it's also the fucking coward move. As, you know, only a month or so into his term, the wheels fall off badly and Trump capitulates and screams like a little fucking child. All I think with the people who still sort of are right there with Trump, he's our guy, and I get he's doing all the racist shit you want, and he's dumping on the trans kids this week. I get that you want all the hate stuff, but he's so fucking weak. I don't get these people who go, Trump's the strong. No, he's not strong. He's weak. He's a coward. He's a piss baby. Oh my God, he even announced he wasn't going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where a comedian notoriously good-naturedly ribs and roasts the president. Sometimes not quite so good-naturedly, if you remember what happened to Bush when Stephen Colbert somehow got the gig. But Bush stayed there, gritted his teeth through it, and said, good job to Colbert afterwards, because that's what you do when you're a professional. When you're a whiny little piss baby like Trump, you go, I'm not going. And some people have said no one's bailed on this since Reagan, and Reagan didn't even really bail. 1 year Reagan didn't go because he'd just been shot. The last president to actually just full on bail and say, I don't want to be there for that mob, was fucking Nixon. Oh my God. And again, the corresponding similarities between the criminality of the Nixon regime and the criminality of the Trump regime. There's no way Trump is lasting as long as Nixon. No way. But honestly, yeah, for politics aside, I get if you are really behind Trump and his immigrant hate and his trans hate, but when he's such a pathetic, whiny, weak, cowardly piss baby, what the fuck do you sad fucks? I think I just worked it out. You're even more pathetic. If you think Trump is strong, that means you are even more of a coward and more weak and more pathetic. That's when we're getting seriously fucked up. But hey, let's not pretend things aren't fucked up in Australia. Look, things are pretty fucked up for our government too. There's almost no chance that they're going to do anything but crash and burn spectacularly in the next federal election, which isn't for years. But as predicted just 2 months ago by me and AZ, Tony Abbott's rearing his ugly head, something chronic, and it's beautiful to see. Like, Malcolm Turnbull, the Prime Minister, is all but mortally wounded by how fucking pathetic he's been. And Abbott smells blood in the water and has been coming out. He's made big statements this week about, here's why the government's shit and here's what they've got to change. Which was funny because apparently for a lot of libs, that was too far. Because even some of Abbott's supporters publicly said, no, dude, that's fucked. Well, what are you doing? And it's let Turnbull and his loyalists like Christopher Pyne just go hard on Abbott. Like Turnbull just saying he's sad and it's just, pathetic. But Abbott supporters, they're there 100%. They're in the media. Like his old mate Peter Credlin, she's saying like, he doesn't want the top job. He's just really actively criticising the job, the guy who is in the top job, who's clearly a complete failure. And Tone's trying to stop the rot. Look, I don't know, maybe in an unprecedented moment of self-awareness, Abbott's looked at it and said, no, I fucked up and I actually never will be leader again. But if I can fuck Turnbull over, I'll do it. Maybe he's doing that. I want him to come back because clearly he provides me with so much material. But knock off Turnbull. Who's going in his way? Like, some of the Abbott supporters seem to be pushing Peter Dutton, the semi-sentient potato from Queensland. It's like, fucking what? How do you people not know what the word unelectable means? Oh, for fuck's sake. It's just beautiful to see. On one of the things that will probably really tip a spill against Turnbull will be a bad result for the sitting Liberal government in Western Australia in the upcoming state election. And I've had people feed me things like things that are shit and why that government has to go. One interesting one is this bloody Perth freight link known as the Railway Freight Link, which is incredibly dubious in economic terms, will cost a fortune, and is ripping apart some really delicate wetlands with some of unique wildlife that Australia has to offer, which could be gone forever if they fuck this up for no good reason. And yes, the Labor Party has said that they would stop it, which is one reason to vote for them. Another reason is the scum fucks in the Liberal Party toadying up to the racists in One Nation. And don't ever fucking say to me that One Nation's not racist. The core of that party is racist. Everything about them is racist. And anyone who ever fucking defends them is a racist piece of shit, okay? I'll preempt any comments to the contrary. If you defend them, you fucking disgust me. You are vile, disgusting filth. You are racist scum. Go fuck yourself, okay? So, couple reasons to vote them out. Because they're shit, they're associating with shit, and it will fuck things up for Malcolm Turnbull, which I personally would find very funny. So there's that. And one other big political thing in Australia, not a political party per se, but doing the work of the Conservative government, the Fair Work Commission. They have decided that there should be no penalty, or no, not no, but they're cutting back penalty rates on weekends for retail and hospitality workers who work Saturdays and Sundays, cutting their penalty rates. And this is just fucked. And I almost slipped and said they want to cut it all together. This is the first step on their plan. Their ideology, and the explicitly stated ideology of the Liberal Party, is to get rid of these penalty rates altogether. Basically fuck over some of the lowest earners in the economy who are actually working and are putting themselves out compared to the Monday to Friday workers, but just blithely saying, oh, they don't deserve any extra. It's like this judgment is made by people who don't give up their weekends. It's like, you know, it's even a fundamental failing in the understanding of capitalism. It's like most economic studies go, what you're doing is taking money out of the economy. Sure, you're giving it to some employers, big and small. They're not going to boost the economy. It's the people who spend money who won't have money to spend. And to see someone who gets 8 to 10 grand a week pontificating how these shift workers won't miss $80 a week. It's like, this bullshit is being pushed by people who've never got down to their last $80 and said, oh fuck, what do I do next? But it's also badly handled. Even as they pass down this thing from Fair Work, the guy who's saying it, he's actually saying, yeah, this will pretty clearly fuck over the people on the receiving end. But, you know, there might be some economic benefit. It's like, you're even admitting you are definitely fucking people over who are in the worst position, and you can't even pull out a big economic benefit. It's like, and there's no political benefit. It's like, oh yeah, so your core party donors wanted you to do this, and so you had to pay them back. But the voters, even the majority of Conservative voters, argue it or respond to surveys like, no, people who do shift work on weekends deserve penalty rates. It's like, so there's no economic reason for doing it. There's no good political reason for doing it. It's just, you've been bought and paid for. And, well, you know, you've just given it to Bill Shorten. Bill Shorten, who's never been able to articulate anything better than, I'm not Tony Abbott, which admittedly is a pretty good claim. You've now handed it to him. It's like, Bill's going, oh, I don't know what I'm going to run on in the next election. I've never really committed to anything. And the Libs have just gone, oh, hey, would you like us to fuck over some working people so you could go be their champion? And Bill goes, yeah, I'll do that. So Shorten said he's going to lead a Labor government that will reinstate these penalty rates if they win the next election, which almost on its own could win them the next election. That is how fucked these Tories are. They'll do something that makes no economic sense, no political sense, because fuck you, that's why.